Hey guys, it's Di from BeingMommywithStyle, and today I wanted to share how I am making these super cute princess-inspired pumpkins. So you can see I already have a finished Rapunzel one back here, and today I'm going to be doing a Tinkerbell one with this pumpkin from Michaels, and I'm also going to be finishing off this pumpkin for Elena of Avalor. And these two pumpkins are for the girls' Halloween costumes. So I thought I would just do a quick video showing you how I did these. So if you watched my Easter basket series, I did these tulle skirt inspired Easter baskets, and I'll try to link those down below. But it's a similar idea, only the difference is we're using pumpkins this time. You can see this Rapunzel pumpkin I actually painted back here, but you could use a real pumpkin or one of these funkins. These are carvable pumpkins. I got this one at Hobby Lobby, and then this one I actually found already pre-painted at Michaels, and it glows in the dark. So they're all kinds of different sizes just to kind of give it a little bit of texture and to make them appear real. In fact, when I posted on Instagram, people didn't even know that these weren't real, but you can actually do this with real pumpkins as well. But I chose to do it with reusable pumpkins so we can use them year after year. Down below, I'm going to link how to make these skirts. You can see I don't have this one glued down. I just have this skirt all made, and I'm going to link that down below so this video isn't super long, but I just used a technique and I did it exactly the same way as I would make one for the girls. I just put the loops up a little bit higher for the smaller pumpkins so there wasn't as wide of a band at the top. And then for this pumpkin, it's a little bit bigger, so I'll put the, I'll use a hole that's more around the middle or down towards the bottom. But otherwise, the technique's exactly the same, and then I just put the skirt around the pumpkin, and then I'm hot gluing it on. So I'm going to show you how I decorate these pumpkins. If you want to see the skirt, how to do the skirt, that tutorial will be linked down below because I already have that video. And we're going to decorate these pumpkins and make this one Tinkerbell inspired and this one Elena inspired. So to start out, you just have your pumpkin base. You can either use one of these faux pumpkins, and that's what I used for this Rapunzel one. And I actually had some purple spray paint on hand, so I decided to spray paint this. And this is just one of the tulle canisters. I'll show you how to do this in a second. I'm using it as a pumpkin stand. But you can also just do it with a regular pumpkin if you don't have the spray paint on hand or you don't want to spray paint your pumpkin. That's how I'm going to do the Elena one. So after your skirt is all the way made, and that tutorial again is down below, you're just going to get it set on your pumpkin where you want it to be and put it down around the edge, and then I'm going to hot glue this around. Then after you have your skirt on, you can either cut the lengths around the sides if they're not to where you want it. And then after you have it cut, you can add all your little details. So all I did for the Rapunzel one is I made a braid like I did for the basket, added some flowers onto it. I put this ribbon detail in the cross across the front, and then just put a little piece of tulle just to be a dividing marker. And that's all I really did for the Rapunzel one. So it was really pretty quick and simple. So what I'm planning to do for Elena is I have this little paintbrush that I popped the top of, and I hot glued a gem onto that. So I'm just going to put some gold tulle around the middle to look like her belt. Put this in there, and then I'm going to drape a piece of this red tulle that I had left over from making the skirt to make the top of her dress, and that's going to be our Elena pumpkin. So to start out, I'm just going to get my skirt where I want it, and I'm going to top the top of this band in. It's going to use my hot glue gun, and then I'm going to glue the skirt where I want it on the pumpkin. Then Elena has a kind of gold colored belt that goes around her center part of her dress. So I'm just going to use some of this yellow tulle that I had left over from the baskets. I'm just going to drape this around the pumpkin and hot glue it over the center so it kind of looks like her gold belt. And in the back, I'm just going to cut off the excess, and I can glue that down. Then for the top of Elena's dress, I took 2 strands of tulle and I just put them together. Then every couple of inches, I went and I made it a knot to keep the strands together. And then I'm going to drape it around like the top of her dress, and I'm just going to make these loops and glue down where I have the knots so that way it stays at the top. To finish off the Elena pumpkin, I'm just going to add some of these gems that we had left over from other craft projects. And I have these small round orange gems that I'm going to put on each of the different knots across just to add some sparkle. Then the last accessories I'm going to include for Elena is I'm just going to try to slide her little staff down in there, and then I'm also going to put one gem up at the top like she has on her crown in a teardrop shape. And then this is going to be our Elena inspired pumpkin. Next up, we're gonna make the Tinkerbell one, and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna spray paint it outside. Also, the cool thing about this pumpkin is that it's glow in the dark. But I also wanted to mention, don't throw away these paper holders from the tool, because you can actually reuse these, cut them down to the size that you want, and reuse them as pumpkin stands, and you can set the pumpkin on it to make the pumpkins varying heights. So you can see, like in the case of the Rapunzel one, I've actually spray painted it purple. So yesterday I spray painted one of the orange pumpkins purple and made the Rapunzel pumpkin, and I just had that spray paint on hand actually for making the baskets. But this glitter spray I got at Michael's today, and I want to do a thicker coat on this so I can kind of cover the brown, but a really light coat so you can still see the green on this pumpkin. So you can see you can put it on in like a thicker coat, and then for the pumpkin I just want a really nice light coat just to look like a little bit of Tinkerbell sparkle. And the green can still show through underneath. Alright, and while the Tinkerbell pumpkin is drying outside, I'm going to use this headband and a couple of green tools. This one's from Michael's, this one's from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to make the Tinkerbell skirt and try to make it a little bit shorter since she has a traditionally shorter skirt. Quick sneak peek at the technique. You just push it through the back, pull the loop through from the behind, and then take the two ends and pull it through like that. Alright, so our Tinkerbell skirt is all done. We're just waiting on the pumpkin to be dry to the touch, and then we can start hot gluing. So I'm going to set that over the side. And what I have to work on extra that I didn't have for the other ones are Tinkerbell wings. So I'm just going to use the same tool that I used for the skirt. And then I went and picked up a floral wire at Michael's, and just using this as a 24 gauge floral wire. I just kind of fashioned some rough wings. They don't have to be perfect. These are kids' pumpkins. I just fashioned some wings out of the floral wire. Small piece at the bottom, a bigger wing at the top. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my tool and drape it over, and then I'm just going to attach it to the floral wire, and I'm going to try hot glue and then just kind of give it a winged effect. So it's a little bit later, and our green pumpkin has sparkles all over. It's just really nice and subtle. And I've also got the skirt done, so I'm going to just go ahead and get this skirt over the pumpkin, and then I can get that glued down. And then this is going to be our Tinkerbell pumpkin. Then I can make the wings real quick and put some tulle on those. You can see that these skirts are super stretchy, so they really go over a number of different size pumpkins. So that's the Tinkerbell one. And remember, this glows in the dark too, so I think this one's going to be really super cute. And this green color from Michael's. So I've got, it looks like 3 different sizes, but those two are actually the same size. So I'm going to get this glued down. Alright, to secure the tulle on there, I just safety pinned on the edges, and then it's going to take this around and hot glue the tulle down on the edges. Alright, so the wings are roughly done, and I'm just going to stick them here on the back, and then you could also use some of that silver puff paint to draw a design on it, because each fairy's wings has its own unique design. But I'm going to attach them to the pumpkin first so I can get some pictures taken tonight. So I'm just going to glue down the skirt like I did the other ones, and then hot glue the wings to the pumpkin, and then this one will be good to go. And I believe that the stand is pretty well dry as well. It's just nice and glittery. And also with these little puff balls, I'm just going to take one and hot glue it to the glitter stand. Alright, and there are the wings on it. I'm going to be able to just get outside before I lose the light and get some pictures of these pumpkins. Alright, so there are the 3 pumpkins all together. We've got Elena down here, Rapunzel right here, and then Tinkerbell. And I think I'm going to use some of this metallic puff paint to freehand Tinkerbell's images on her wings. But so far I'm pretty pleased with these. I think they turned out pretty cute. Alright, so I got some of that metallic paint on the wings just to add a little bit of detail, and I think that was a really nice touch. So these are our inspired princess and Disney character pumpkins. Elena of Avalor down here. There's Rapunzel, and then there's Tinkerbell. And you can do these for pretty much any character. All you have to do is change the colors. You can see that this pumpkin and this pumpkin are exactly the same pumpkins they started out, but you can make them look totally different just by adding the accessories and changing the color. So if you guys enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up down below. Let me know which pumpkin was your favorite. And thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.